Hey everyone, so here's a wild question. What can a corporate battle between two DVD rental companies teach you about love? Turns out everything. Let me take you back to the early 2000s. Picture this. Blockbuster was everywhere. Those blue and yellow stores were like temples of Friday night entertainment. You'd walk in, browse the aisles, grab some popcorn, rent a movie, and promise yourself you'd return it by Tuesday. But here's the thing, Blockbuster had a secret weapon that was actually killing them: late fees. You know that sinking feeling when you realize you forgot to return that DVD? Yeah, Blockbuster made billions from that anxiety. They literally built their business model on guilt and punishment. Meanwhile, there was this little company called Netflix that nobody took seriously. They mailed you DVDs in those iconic red envelopes. And here's the crazy part: they didn't care when you returned them. No late fees, no pressure, no angry phone calls. Blockbuster looked at Netflix and laughed. They even had a chance to buy Netflix for $50 million in 2000 and said no thanks. Fast forward to 2010, and Blockbuster filed for bankruptcy while Netflix became a household name worth billions. So what happened? Blockbuster thought they were competing on movies, but Netflix understood they were competing on feelings. Blockbuster sold entertainment with a side of stress. Netflix sold peace of mind with a side of entertainment. And this is where it gets interesting for your love life. Think about the best relationship you've ever seen. Maybe your grandparents. Maybe that couple who just seems effortlessly happy. They're not doing the relationship equivalent of renting a Blockbuster movie for one exciting weekend. They're in it for the long haul. Like a subscription. It's not about explosive fireworks every single day. It's about showing up consistently, reliably, comfortably. Netflix won because they understood something profound: sustainability beats intensity. You don't need the newest, hottest released every time. Sometimes you just want to browse, find something that feels right, and enjoy it without someone breathing down your neck about when you'll be done. The same goes for relationships. The couples that last aren't the ones having Instagram perfect date nights every weekend. They're the ones who've built a system where love flows naturally, without constant pressure to perform. Now, here's where Blockbuster really messed up, and where a lot of relationships fall apart. Those late fees? They weren't just annoying, they fundamentally changed how customers felt about the service. Every movie you rented came with this countdown timer in your head. You couldn't just enjoy the film. You were already anxious about returning it. Some relationships work exactly like this. You text back 5 minutes late, and suddenly you're getting passively aggressive messages. You forgot one small thing, and it becomes a 2-hour conversation about how you don't care. You're not quite enthusiastic enough one evening, and your partner starts questioning whether you still love them. This is late fee love. It's exhausting. And just like Blockbuster customers who eventually got tired of the anxiety and switched to Netflix, people in these relationships eventually burn out. The healthiest relationships? They are the Netflix models. They give you room to breathe. They understand that sometimes you are tired. Sometimes you forget things. Sometimes you need space. And that's okay. There's no punishment system for being human. Netflix had another secret weapon that Blockbuster completely missed: the long tail. Blockbuster only stocked the hits, the news releases, the crowd pleasers, the obvious choices. But Netflix realized that what keeps people subscribed isn't just the blockbusters. It's the weird indie film you randomly discovered, the documentary series you didn't know you needed, the comfort shows you rewatch for the 100th time. In relationships, we often focus on the blockbuster moments, the anniversaries, the vacations, the grand romantic gestures. And sure, those are great. But you know what actually sustains a relationship? The long tail moments. It's remembering they like their coffee a specific way. It's the text that says "thinking of you" for no reason. It's knowing when they need space and when they need company. It's the inside jokes that aren't funny to anyone else. It's being willing to listen to the same story they've told 5 times because you know it makes them happy. These aren't the moments that make great Instagram posts, but they are the moments that make great relationships. They are the library of small, Consistent acts that keep someone subscribed to your love. Blockbusters had one final fatal flaw. They refused to change. Even when the world was clearly moving digital, they clung to their brick-and-mortar stores. Even when customers were screaming that they hated late fees, Blockbuster kept them because that's how they'd always made money. They were so committed to their old model that they couldn't see the future. Relationships die this way too. You find something that works early on. Maybe it's texting all day. Maybe it's seeing each other every weekend. Maybe it's a certain way of handling conflict. And then life changes. You get a new job, moving to a different city, facing new stresses. But instead of adapting, you try to force the old model to work in a new situation. The strongest relationships are the ones that evolve. The couple that can say, hey, the way we've been doing this isn't working anymore. Let's figure out something new together. That's the Netflix move, constantly adapting. Always asking, what do people actually need right now? Instead of, what did people need 5 years ago? So here's what it all comes down to. If you want a love that lasts, stop thinking like Blockbuster and start thinking like Netflix. Stop building your relationship on pressure and start building it on comfort. Stop punishing mistakes and start creating space for humanity. Stop chasing only the blockbuster moments and start investing in the long tail of small, daily kindnesses. Stop clinging to what worked in the past and start adapting to what works now. Because at the end of the day, Blockbuster and Netflix weren't really competing over DVDs. They were competing over how people wanted to feel. One made them anxious. One made them relaxed. One demanded perfection. One accepted humanity. And in love, just like in business, the model that makes people feel safe, seen, and free to be themselves, that's the one that wins. So ask yourself, is your relationship a Blockbuster or a Netflix? Are you building something sustainable? Or are you just stacking up late fees that will eventually drive someone away? The choice is yours, but I know which model I'd bet on. Thanks for watching. Everyone, if this resonated with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, are you Team Netflix or Team Blockbuster in your approach to love? See you next time.